Ding dong, mail's here. A3 mailbag time. You've asked, we are here to answer. If you have questions for Attacking Third, any of us, let us know across social media at Attacking Third and also on YouTube in the comments, podcast reviews, anywhere. Our producer Mark does a great job of writing them all down, compiling them, and now we get to answer them. Let's jump in. From at Gigsy37, I'm trying here. First question, where do you think Midge Purce is going to end up? Sandra, where are you thinking? What are your senses telling you?
Gigsy with the hot question right off the back. They want to know about free agency, don't we all? Listen, I think Midge Purce is one of the key targets of free agency. When you look at that long list, you automatically look for those sort of marquee players who are the ones that are going to make those headlines or impact the team. And I would argue that Midge Purce was a player that was maybe on the radar for a lot of teams, but I have to wonder, with all of the movement around Gotham, if maybe, just maybe, that means she might stay put with the East Coast side. We already saw that Lynn Williams is now with Seattle. They have continued to make moves and just conversations and feelings as well that took place over this week. I have a feeling that Gotham is not done making moves with their roster. So that could include more player movement out, but that could also include more player movement in. And I just feel like Midge Purce could possibly continue her time with Gotham moving forward.
Ooh, interesting. Christine, do you have any insight on this? Any guesses?
It's hard to picture Midge going anywhere other than Gotham. Obviously, anything could happen. Crazier things have happened, so I feel like she'll stay put.
I like that shout. She did talk about in the off season, her show, that's her show, I guess we can call it, that last year she wanted to make more money. She wanted to be paid what she's worth coming off of an injury year. She's still a top player. I think, frankly, any team would be happy to have a striker like that join their team to provide a lot of depth, a lot of experience, goal scoring prowess. She can assist.
Does she want to go to the Wave?
Yes, anyone would be lucky. I would be shocked if she leaves Gotham at this point because of all the changes. Okay, question number 2. This one from Laura Brevitz, 3944. I love this question. Thoughts on Utah Royals situation, because this gives us a chance to kind of dissect what has happened. Former Utah Royals goalkeeper Carly Nelson, she broke her silence after a season-long excused mental health absence from the team that started in May of 2024. Nelson posted several slides across her social media, slides of text that said, quote, "We shouldn't have to choose between our mental health and our careers. Organizations need to be part of the solution, not the root of the problem," stating she can no longer stay silent about the emotional and psychological abuse she endured at Utah. Utah also released a statement saying the club strives to create a positive and supportive environment and takes any allegations to the contrary with the utmost seriousness and urgency. Darian, these are big words coming from a player, from a club, after we really haven't heard anything all season from Nelson.
It's sad. I think obviously because I'm still connected within the NWSL. After Sally Yates, there were some changes, but I think the rot goes so deep that we'll see a lot more things come out, not just from Utah, but from other organizations as well. And I'm happy that Carly spoke up and wrote this statement, because you can't imagine how long players and what other players are experiencing, frankly, that have to feel that they just have to sit with it and that they don't have a voice to say anything. So I commented on Carly's post saying, speaking truth to power, you're giving a voice to players that feel that they don't. Not just players, but people that maybe get inspiration from that as well. I'm really interested to see what Utah does next, how they're actually going to address it with Carly. I hope that they get resolution and that things structurally change, because we just know as women, a lot of the time we're told to shut up, you should be grateful. And the situation may not be great. You could be treated poorly. We're seeing that with San Diego. It's such an unfortunate part of the NWSL that's been so interwoven that we're still trying to get out of. So my heart breaks for Carly. My heart breaks for other players that identify with that are experiencing similar things. We don't have all of the details that she hasn't publicly spoken about yet. I hope that we do get that so that everybody can feel seen and that the NWSL can start to legitimize even more so than we've seen, because these things need to change. You should not have employees, players that have to come out and make statements like this. It should not be part of something that players have worked their entire lives to get to this point and are dealing with abuse.
Yeah, to the note of the Yates report and really all the investigations and reports that took place, you have to wonder if, unfortunately, when you have that sort of quote unquote reckoning that so many people had referred to that moment as, is if perhaps maybe things get a little bit messier before they actually do get worse. And sometimes it feels like when something like this comes out, when a player speaks about this experience, you're just like, you're reminded of that's actually really what's going on a little bit at this time across, honestly, globally. It's tragically not just NWSL where we hear these types of things from players speaking about their poor experiences. So the hope, I think, is that things do get resolved, that not only clubs do better by their players, but that these players who find themselves as victims of these moments and in these environments get the support that they need as well.
It takes a insurmountable amount of courage to stand up and also essentially inadvertently make yourself the center of a lot of public scrutiny when you choose to stand up for a lot of people that haven't found it in themselves to do that yet. So to every single player who's managed to post, talk, chime in and support each other, I have immeasurable amounts of respect for you, especially as we move forward, where we continue to think that these issues have been eradicated and they haven't.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that I can contribute today to this. And lots of love and support to Carly Nelson and everyone else who continue to unravel a ball of yarn that a lot of people would rather stuff under the bed and pretend it didn't happen.
Hands down support to Carly Nelson, to other players at Utah, other players across the league that can't say this yet or haven't been able to do that yet. And I hope that there's resolution. We'll keep you guys updated on anything that comes out of the club, of Utah Royals, Carly Nelson, any other players, the things that happened. Our third and final mailbag question. This one comes from Camel 45. This is probably our favorite question that we didn't ever get to before in an episode when we wanted to. Who is the best defender of all time? Camel 45. Let's go with this question. Christine, I'm tossing to you first. Best defender of all time.
Wait, like in the grand scope of defenders, like I don't have to narrow. Like you're not going to give me like a year, a
all
league,
time.
a time,
All
all
time.
Bro.
Just say Girma. It's okay. Go with your heart.
Don't make it harder on
Is that what you would
yourself.
say, Sandra?
No, actually, I'm going to go with Carla Overbeck. I'll throw it back.
Yeah,
I'll throw it
I'm
back.
like,
That's a great
I'll go with
shout.
Carla Overbeck.
I've been alive for a long time. If I do something by recency bias, like
For all those
goddamn.
youngins who don't know, Carla Overbeck was part of the 99ers, part of the beginnings of all of this great women's senior national team success for the United States. So Carla Overbeck for me.
Yeah, Sandra,
I'm gonna go.
I'm thinking
Rampone?
long term. Joy Fawcett, guys.
Yeah.
She's
That's
got
Joy
like
Fawcett's a great shout.
Another great shout.
240 something caps. She was with the 90s through the early 2000s. I loved watching Joy Fawcett play. Such an incredible.
We're throwing it back. All right.
No.
You guys are throwing it back. Love Joy Fawcett. I'm gonna go with Becky Sauerbrunn. I think this is a player that paid her dues and was so consistent. So consistent. I think she was the backbone, the heart of the team for so long. And maybe was never the flashiest, or she never really got the recognition I felt that she deserved for how good she was, but also how much she advocated for players on the national team as well as players in the league being filtered in. So to me, it's definitely Becky Sauerbrunn for on and off the field stuff.
Yeah.
I like that shout. I think
Christine, you sticking with Girma?
Christine, you still have to say somebody.
I know. Let's go. Is it? Yeah, Christy Pierce. She's no longer Rampone. Let's go with her.
Yeah, that's a shout. I like that shout. Guys, this was fun. If you have questions for us, let us know. We absolutely love answering them.